Today on The Well-Educated Artist, we are going to be showing a little love with acrylic skins. So glad that you can join me. Let's get started. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make our background. And I'm going to be doing that with house paint. This is just Color Place house paint, which is the house paint available at Walmart. And I'm also going to be using sort of a very subtle bloom technique for this as well. So I'm going to put my house paint down and then I'm going to be using some pigments. This is a pigment called Rose Gold from Mayspring, and I'm trying this out and I've actually really liked this color, and it's mixed with Bear 8300 and Joe Sonia varnish. It's a water-based varnish, and so just mixing them together will make the paint that we need for our bloom. Another color that I'm going to be using is from the Bling It collection from Color Art, and this is Abalone Shell, mixed exactly the same way. And I'm also going to be using Playful Pink from Arteza, mixed the same way. This is not a pigment. This is a paint that's fairly transparent, and it works pretty much like an interference pink. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm going to be using that as well. So I'm going to be using some very subtle colors, and I'm going to be using a cell activator that is basically just Australian Floetrol and titanium white from Amsterdam. So a pretty basic recipe for that one. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and lay down my house paint. This is a pretty big canvas, and in that it's 12 by 12, so it's going to take quite a lot of paint. Move those out of the way, and I'm just going to lay it down with a bottle. I've got to where I use bottles quite often, especially for my smaller works. It works really well. So I'm just going to flood my canvas, and it's going to take probably almost all that I have in the bottle for this. I'm going to go over the side. I don't want that to happen. You can spin it if you want to. I'm just going to take my palette knife, and I'm just going to move it out to the edges a little bit. If you tend to have trouble with your paints cracking, crazing, then you may want to add some GAC 800 from Golden. I'm just going to give this a spin, make sure that everything is pretty level here. And I see something in my paint. Yum! I'm going to start with my peach gold. I'm not sure what I called it before, but it's peach gold from Mayspring. And I am just going to kind of concentrate my color. Oh my, I'm making a heart. I'm going to concentrate my color in the middle for the rose gold because that's where I want my darker color. It's not going to be the only place I have color. And I'm just going to get some paint laid down. After I've laid down my pigments, then I can take my white cell activator and get a very subtle lacing effect on my background. And in order to do that, I'm just going to take a large palette knife and I'm going to load my cell activator on the back. I'm kind of messy, just smearing it around with my fingers, and it's going to take quite a lot of cell activator to do a canvas this size. And I kind of start in the middle, and you can see the lacing effect that I'm getting in the middle over the peach gold, but I'm going to have to do the whole thing and several loads of cell activator all the way across my canvas, including over the white part, because that's still going to give me a contrast between my very white cell activator and my antique white background. And I'm going to show you what that looks like up close. You're probably wondering what the heck I am doing. So what I'm going to do is bring you in close, and I'm going to let you see what I'm doing, what the lacing effect is. It's super subtle, but it's going to be the background for my acrylic skin. So I don't want the background to take away from my acrylic skins. So you can see the very subtle, super subtle lacing You can see kind of what I'm thinking. There is a method to my madness. Do you see that? The super shimmery, lacy effect that I've got by doing a bloom swipe. And you get kind of this marbly effect. Because if you notice, my cell activator is a different color than the paint that I'm using. The paint I'm using is actually an off-white color. And you can kind of see what I'm going for and what my background is going to look like, even though it doesn't look like much now. Kind of has that lace doily look. Okay, so once our background has been created, we need to create our shapes that are going to be part of our heart. Now, you could make hearts part of this heart. That would be really cute. But what I'm going to do is make circles. And no, I do not trace out all of my circles. I have done that before, but now to make it really super easy, we're just going to use punches. And a set like this particular one, these are Bear Boss scrapbooking punches, and these will actually cut your skins. So this is a skin. You can see I've already cut through the skin and made some circles. If you know me, if you watch my videos, you know I have 1,001 of these skins. I often try things out, and when I do that, I make skins, and then I have them for projects, and you'll see my videos that use these skins. But you also may be a pour painter, and you'll have these acrylic skins that are left over from your pour painting. Some of them will be large, small, and some of them will be really nice. This particular one is a fairly nice skin. You may have seen it in another one of my videos where I created it. This is a bloom skin. And so for this is what we're going to use. They have a really cool galactic quality about them, and you can make them any color that you want. If you need a video on how to make skins,
I have a lot of videos on this. A lot. Like a really lot.
So with these punches, what's so cool about them is you can just give a punch. Now they do need to be even. If you do not have paper that is even, you will not have an even punch. And the thinner the skin, the easier it is to punch the skin. So you'll just stick your skin in and press down. The thicker your skin, the harder it's going to be. I had to put a lot of pressure on this particular skin. If you're not careful, you also go out and over to the side. You really have to have straight. This one has a little bit of a curve. But what's really cool about these Bear Boss ones is you've got this little holder on the bottom. So there is a holder, and sometimes they will slip out, and sometimes they will be like this one and be a little tricky. Come on out, skin. Okay, so there we go. There is our circle. And I'm just going to do this a few more times, some big, some small. And you can even use a regular hole punch for smaller holes. Now, my background is dry, but let's get real. I actually lay out my design first. So I take all of my hole punches, you know, these that we punched out with the hole punches, and I lay them out. So I kind of know how they go. So here's my laid out version. This is just put on a canvas. It still has the plastic on it, and it allows me to know where I'm going to put everything. So I'm able to take it off of this canvas and very quickly and efficiently, hopefully, move it over to that canvas. Now that we have all of our circles arranged, now comes the tedious part, to glue them down. So you could use Elmer's glue all, you could use varnish, which I always have handy. This is a water-based varnish, and you could use something like diamond glaze. You know I'm probably going to use the diamond glaze, right? I always use the diamond glaze. I'm going to glue these all down and be mindful of the spacing, but it's going to take me a hot minute, so just give me a sec. Okay, I think we now have all the glue down, and I'm checking to make sure nothing falls off, and now we can finish it up. Okay, this is dried overnight, everything is stuck down, and I am now going to varnish. I have several varnishes. I'm going to use a high gloss varnish. I'm just going to use Liquitex, and I'm just going to brush that on, and we'll see how it goes from there. You could embellish this, but I'm going to leave mine simple. I like that you can see the color from the heart that I made from the background, and I am just going to high gloss finish this. You also could do foil around the circles by just putting your leafing glue around there, your sticky glue, and then leaf it. But circles are kind of hard, if you've ever worked with them, to go around with something like glue and make it look right. So I'm going to keep mine super simple. I'm just going to use my high gloss varnish and varnish it off. If I don't like the look of that, I can also go back and then put resin over the top of it. So that's an option as well. So there's lots of different things that you can do to this, but right now I'm just going to keep it simple. I'm going to take my varnish and I'm going to take my brush, and I am just going to pour that on over my heart, just to make sure that you're using a varnish that will not cause your skins to peel. Some varnishes will. Since these particular skins are bloom skins, they are pretty resilient to that kind of thing. If you're using Floetrol based skins, thinner skins, you may have some trouble, especially if you overwork it. Okay, so I'm gonna let this dry. I'm probably gonna put a couple of coats on it, and then we'll be done. Okay, here it is. It's completely dry, and it only took a couple of hours to do about 3 coats. This stuff dries really, really quick. That's the Liquitex High Gloss Varnish. And so it's completed. It's very simplistic, and it just shows how versatile your acrylic skins are. This one almost looks like shell or mother of pearl, and it's just a fun way to show your love. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please hit like and subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be notified when I release more videos. Leave a comment below on what you'd like me to make next with acrylic skins. Thanks for watching. Bye now.